Welcome back to the Great Green Home Show for our final segment of the day.
We already did it while it was off air, so that's great. All the good stuff we'll have to repeat.
All the good stuff, naturally. We are here with H.G. Haskell from SIW Vegetables. Where is your? I mean, where are you actually growing?
Where's your bunker? Where's your vegetable bunker?
The farm is on Route 100.
Oh, where your stand is?
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
It's 2 miles south of Route 1 in Chadds Ford,
which makes it a couple hundred yards over the state line, then.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're actually in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we do have a little corner in Delaware, so we can say we can go either way.
Ah,
we're a regional show. We don't go by state lines.
Multi-statal. Okay, good.
Where are the other two spots?
We have the farm markets in Hocassin and Centerville.
Okay.
And if you've ever driven out 52 at rush hour on Thursday, you know where we are.
Because you're blocking traffic.
And a lot of angry drivers.
Okay, so how would these angry drivers get in touch with you for the CSA?
They could email me at SIW Veggies, that's VEGIES with 1 G, at AOL. Or they can call my office at 610-388-0656. But in the winter, don't expect to get a response right back.
But he is in town, apparently, because he's here in the studio. And what do you do during the winter that you're not responding? Are you sleeping? What are you doing? Sleeping?
Yeah, I get up at 10.
Ooh.
Stay up till midnight.
Yeah?
No, on the farm, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 8-hour days, 5 days a week instead of...
Right, and you've got a lot of farm. Are you hunting it all out there these days?
We do need to control our
you
deer
can't say
herd.
hunting anymore. We're on a green station. We're controlling.
We control the deer herd because everything... The deer would eat everything if we didn't have fences around everything.
What do you call a deer with one eye? I have no idea. Sorry.
We wound him up during the midtime. All right, so let's talk about, give that number again for getting in touch with you, and we'll let the idea go.
610-388-0656.
Okay, so now if they call you and say, I want to be involved in your CSA, how would you set that up for them?
I'll call you back, or if you give me your email address, I will email you and send you some info, and then everything starts happening in February, and then you will start receiving stuff in June.
So map out what kind of, how's it set up? How's it set up for people? Give them an idea what will be coming their way.
In June we have peas and some lettuce and some greens. End of June the tomatoes and corn start in, and by the 10th of July everything's coming.
So can you say I want to give you $500? It gives me a certain percentage, and you mark it down. Here's $500. I want to invest in CSA. How do you figure it out from there?
Well, we have three different
levels.
Okay. And Paul, don't you owe me $500?
I probably, but I'm trying to get away with.
But we have a full share and a half share,
and
a single share, which is kind of in between the two. Full share is good for a big family.
Okay.
A half share is usually good for a couple, or maybe a couple and a kid.
Okay.
Single share in between that.
All right. So you buy into one of the levels, and that allows you to come out and get a certain amount of vegetables, and you're marked.
Certain day, you pick a day of the week, and we don't hold you to that. We just don't want you to come on the weekends when we're really busy.
Right.
But we just give you some of every. We have a whiteboard. We write on there what's in at that time, and we have constantly trucks coming in from the field on a daily basis. So you might not see something on the board.
Right.
You just ask and say, "Hey, those are your green beans, aren't they? They're not on the board." We give them to you.
So this is amazing, because you're going to make out like a bandit. You're supporting the local farmer, and during the winter, and you're getting a great deal. I mean, obviously, you're getting a great deal when you come in and pick up your vegetables like that.
Yeah, it's a good deal. You will be swimming in vegetables by about the middle of August.
Awesome. Excellent.
But you'll be the healthiest person on your block.
Awesome. In fact, you want to tell all your friends about it and how to get there.
Absolutely.
Now, explain to me what we're supposed to do during the off season for fruits and veggies.
Well, because a lot of things don't come from around here in the winter, which is like everything.
Right.
You still want to eat healthy, but if you can get anything that's produced locally, winter squashes, you can buy them in the summer and you can carry them through the winter. They won't all make it, but you can. There's a few things. There's greens that grow around here locally. You do have to bite the bullet if you really want to have a tomato in the winter. It's going to have to come from Florida or California or South America.
Okay. We don't have any local greenhouses or hot houses or anything.
We do have some of that.
Okay.
But when you go to the supermarket, you're stuck with whatever they have. I mean, there's no farmers markets in the winter.
What about canning? People doing any canning these days? They get if they're swimming in vegetables during the summer, you could can your own vegetables.
Absolutely. And actually, this year is our first year we started canning. We've canned raspberries, pumpkins, and winter squash, and tomato sauce.
Are you selling those, or are you just canning them for your personal use?
No, I'm selling them, and I do sometimes
So-
eat some of my own
So
stuff.
I
towards
see.
the tail end of the summer, we can pick up our CSA stuff and some of your canned stuff to tide us over during the winter.
Absolutely.
I think that's I think that's the wave of the future. Obviously, when things get more expensive, oil and gas, you're going to have to start getting canned vegetables from your local people. I mean,
And the canner we use is a local
Oh.
canner.
excellent.
It's a
Even
little
better.
mom and pop operation without the pop.
So you know, hi mom.
Squash pie, boiled
Okay.
squash, broiled squash.
Let's
Sorry,
just
think
let
of
him
the things
go.
I can
He's
eat in
running
wintertime.
time out. It's good. Okay, so we can can vegetables. We can buy the vegetable from you. We know where to come find. Recipes. Anything you recommend locally? What are the best vegetables to get locally? Obviously, your sweet corn is amazing. I've had that. I try to pick that up. But you have tomatoes.
I mean, everything we grow is picked ripe, just like you'd pick it out of your garden.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the supermarket, they have to ship it across the country, or even if it's shipped in, halfway across the country, they have to pick it less ripe for it to be able to travel here. Our stuff is picked in the field, driven straight, right down to my produce stand.
Okay.
It's more perishable, and the price will be higher, but the cost is lower.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about. You were talking about cows and how the beef, and you got to watch how much beef you eat, and it had something to do with eating corn. The cows processing corn.
the best way to fatten a cow, the fastest way to fatten a cow is on corn, but a cow
That's
was
fast.
not made by God to eat corn. So they have to give it medication to keep it from getting sick.
No way.
So every hamburger you eat, it comes from a sick cow.
Comes from
Unless it says grass-fed.
Okay, and does it say that on the label? Because I don't know. Are there? Can you go in and find beef that's been grass-fed?
Absolutely.
And what is it? A USDA signature or is it?
I can't give
Where
you
do we go? Tell
I'm a
us.
vegetable farmer, not a meat farmer, but I know.
Where do you go to get that kind of beef?
I mean, you can in most supermarkets they do have.
Grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you want to look for to stay healthy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, because you're not getting the chemicals that are fed into the cow that actually make it sick in order for it to digest the corn.
Correct.
That's a huge piece of information for people. So we want to eat more vegetables, obviously. If you're not eating beef, what do you supplant, or as much beef, what do you supplant? Use beans for the protein, or
Well, you gave a list of there's a lot of seafood.
a lot of seafood.
Seafood's fantastic.
yeah,
And you can get the vitamins in there that you need. That you
free
can't
range
get in meat.
chicken would be good.
Yeah.
That the ones that don't get chemical, make sure you check that label.
And even then, read the book The Omnivore's Dilemma, because
Okay, that's
even
what we
organic stuff you might not want to eat
Okay,
because it comes from big factory farms.
well, we always
and-
like to give out good book names, so we don't do it enough. We don't give out enough websites because we always have so much to talk about. We're almost out of time right here.
Yeah.
I think Doug's got to take us out, but the book was Omnivore's Delight. We thank H.T. Haskell.
Actually, that's The Omnivore's Dilemma.
Dilemma, not the delight. That's the other
Omnivore's
book
Dilemma.
on what to eat. All right, go ahead.
Omni
Take us out.
meaning every, just in case anybody cares.
Okay.
Where
Dilemma.
are we? We need to sign off and thank our sponsors.
We have to thank H2 for coming in.
And
It was great.
obviously, we want to thank HG for being here with us today. You can contact him again, SIWVEGIES at AOL.com, SIWVeggies with one G at AOL.com. You can call and leave a message at 610-388-0656. I really think the CSA thing is something we all need to
And
get
call
involved
after
in.
midnight. Always
Call
after midnight.
call after midnight just to make sure we upset
It's
his
winter
wife
time. He's up.
as much as possible. We need to thank our sponsors, SunTrust Mortgage, CMI Electric, Energy Services Group, MyEcoAgent.com, and Option Insurance Group.
The best option.
And thank you, Brooke, for being here with us again today. Our
Brooke
producer,
was a
Brooke.
great Bill Buzzer.
She was a boop.
Thank
Yeah, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week.